Welcome to Overwatch. This time we're going to be talking about a Lucio game. You can see we've got chat on screen as well. You can see my wonderful start menu as well. You might notice instantly the rating, and I've probably put it in the title in a really clickbait way and probably on the thumbnail as well, because holy shit, I get sent a lot of games. Like I've got still a good 30 of them or so waiting to go over for coaching the many. And this is probably the lowest rated game that I've been sent. This is the lowest rated game that I've been sent, because Jesus, this is quite low. This is very low. So what I want to do is preface this, okay? We're going to see play here that is very non-standard, shall we say. We're going to see play that is very bad, just to put it bluntly. Like, it's not going to be great play. It's just not going to be great play. Like, these people might not play FPS much. They might not, they might be new to games. There might be all sorts of reasons why someone is down this low. All sorts of reasons. So, what I want to be sure of is that, A, if I do burst out laughing, I'm sorry, I don't mean to. But it's surreal to me, because I watched about half of this game. I didn't watch all of it. I didn't want to spoil the surprise for myself. Because it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Is Revlo even on? No, Revlo isn't on. Revlo. All sorted as well. There you go, Revlo bot's now on. Hello, Revlo bot. There you go. Oh man, no, this is quite something. This is really quite something. Also, thank you to Overwatch Central for the quick host arena, because what we're going to see is, to me, it's like looking at an alien world. It's like looking at something completely different. Even the start of the game is very, very different, but it does let us talk a lot about Lucio, hopefully, a lot about positioning, about standard positioning, what standard, what isn't, when you should be playing towards standard, when you shouldn't be playing towards standard, all that kind of stuff. And it also just lets us see what life is like down. You know, you think your rank's bad, well, look at these guys, because holy moly. I think we should just get started, chat. So I'm going to move chat off the screen so you know, stop blocking it. So there goes chat. Oh, bye, chat. Let's get on with the show. So, this is going to be from a Lucio point of view. And, you know, we have our man here. We got MG Wrote. Someone's talking already in game. Gabe in a very garbled way. And, yeah. So, already we're going to see, actually, like a not god-awful team lineup. The one thing that I hear a lot from low-level play is that just getting a sensible team lineup is difficult. You got 2-2-2. It's not full meta. Like, Junkrat isn't really meta, but honestly, like, this is meta. This isn't bad. You'd usually see an Ana, but fine. It's bronze. Aiming might not be the highest priority in the world. Aiming might not be the best thing in the world. We got a good team lineup here. We got like a good starting position. The one thing I would say is, like, let's talk about team lineup while we have the minute setup time. Junkrat I'm not too keen on Route 66 in general. I mean, I'm not keen on Junkrat in general. Like, my thoughts on Junkrat are probably well documented by now. But especially on this map, there's a lot of open space, wide open space. The enemy team also likes to start on the high ground. Like, if you think of Earl's Diner as, like, not Earl's Diner, Earl's Garage or whatever it is, Big Earl's, as like a box that is sort of surrounded by low ground, like a trench around it. Firing up onto high ground as Junkrat isn't great at the best of times, especially if they're running Diva, Reinhardt, that kind of thing. But Junkrat does a lot of damage, and especially in this game, we're going to see very quickly that movement isn't great, and we're also going to see that positioning is kind of interesting, just in terms of how things are going. And we've got a Hanzo now instead of a Soldier 76, so we literally have a Bronze League Hanzo. And hello, this is suspicious. So as Lucio already, yep, this is correct. You move back, stay nice and safe, stay behind the Reinhardt. Shoot the door a little bit, not too big a problem. Okay, instantly, the enemy team is completely out of position. Reinhardt just needs to be providing a little bit of cover, and your team just needs to be moving up behind this, and then you should just be able to shatter this defense. Just take it slow and take it steady. Get one kill at a time, and you'll be fine. And even if you trade 1-for-1, you'll respawn faster. So you've already got to pick. Just go and make sure that this guy is alive. And one thing I would sort of like to comment on very quickly is during all of this, just watch mouse movement. Like, again, this is, to me, just speaks of, like, not being used to moving the mouse much, not being used to being fluid. Like, there is no harm in just bouncing the mouse around, just trying to keep an eye on absolutely everything. And this is just, in general, good support concept, a good support ideal, is to try and keep an eye on everyone, because you get these nice silhouettes where you can see, you know, how everyone is doing. And so you can keep an eye on this Hanzo, for example. You can try and keep an eye out for anything coming back here. You can keep an eye on the Junkrat a little bit. And you can just keep looking back and forth, because you don't really need to be looking at the enemy that much. Your damage isn't that consequential. So you spam, look, spam, look, spam, look, keep an eye on stuff. Reaper coming in, fall back, good. Just focus on healing, keeping this Diva alive, staying out of harm's way. Falling back here is not something I'd recommend, however. Because back here on Route 66 is like a pocket. Like a pocket that you get caught in. And if they start spamming away, then you're just sort of trapped in this location. It's much better to fall back here towards the cover where you're out of harm's way, but you can still see your team. And keeping line of sight as Lucio is like the important thing, because that keeps the healing sort of performing. Otherwise, honestly, like this guy is actually in a good position. He's where Lucio needs to be, right? In the middle of the team, right behind the Reinhardt barrier. Keep staying nice and protected as the team starts to push forward and starts to grind its way forward. It would be nice to have something here to help deal with the D.Va, but hey, you don't get everything that you want in life, clearly, especially not at this elo. And hey, like, your D.Va's doing work, Junkrat just runs forward and just stands still. Lovely. Like, I love watching the movement of these players, because one thing I want to drill into people is, unless you have a very good reason to be standing still, and there's not very many, don't stand still. Like, just move back and forth a little bit, just in case. You never know. And like this positioning here, like Mercy's just stood like an angel atop the terraces and just so free in terms of kills, but of course you have a Hanzo who might not be able to hit her. And honestly, like, this is actually good movement from this team. If they've already dropped down, hey, we've got a new sub as well. Scoots Magoots 68. Wow, that's a name. That's one hell of a name. I like that name. Welcome to the many Scoots Magoots. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll learn something from this game. I'm not sure what we'll learn, but it's going to be fascinating. Like, to me, this is just a view into a different world. But anyway, Route 66. Okay, let's talk about, like, standard Route 66. Standard Route 66. You see the enemy team usually stand up here, and they'll usually wait until the payload gets to about here, and then they'll drop down. And they'll just start infrared. Look at this clown. Look at this clown in chat. Posting Valk emotes. Bloody hell. What a scrub lord. Jesus. Anyway. Like, you'll usually see the team stay here, wait till the payload gets over here, then drop down and start having a big fight in the payload that sort of spreads very quickly. And you've just got to make sure you're cleaning people up. Infrared's now spamming style. Hello, Sir Remotes. Good job, Infrared. Thank you for distracting me. In general, like, you want to just stay clustered around the payload, and honestly, the best thing to do, the best thing I find, is actually to move towards the big L's as fast as possible. So you're basically getting underneath the enemy team and getting tucked right underneath. So they have to drop down, so they have to fight you from there. You've got the large health pack that you can retreat to. You've got this pathway back here if you start getting around this way. And yeah, it's quite an encounter that's happening now, because what's happening now is my usual logic is, okay, we got a team fight happening, but this isn't what's happening at this state. Like, team fights don't seem to be happening. What you're getting instead is 1v1s happening all over the place, which is honestly like the nightmare situation for a support. This is brave. This is very brave, okay? This is the sign of a brave man, because that's a roadhog. That's a roadhog who can one-shot pretty much everyone in front of him, and you're running at him. As a support, your job is to try and stay alive as much as possible. Don't run at the roadhog. Don't run at roadhog. Keep your distance from him. Try and dodge. Try and just evade him, because he's going to try and hook something. I'm amazed that you survived that right click. Holy shit, that's incredible. Like, this guy should be getting kill after kill after kill. At higher level, this man would have devastated your entire team if you just try and running at him like that. Just try and stay split up and like, what's Soldier doing over here? Why is Soldier over there? Like, why is that Soldier... What is the enemy Soldier 76 doing? He's gone on an adventure. What? I've managed to mute it. I don't want to mute it. What? I was watching... When I first watched this VOD, I got so confused. It's like, okay, it's just... What? Wait, what? Why is he here? Where's he going? He just crosses the road. He's on an adventure. He's just finished his shopping. Wanted to stop off at the diner, get a snack maybe. I don't know. Just... What? Okay. But let's focus on the basics, okay? Let's draw fundamentals. Draw fundamentals. As Lucio, your job is to be in the middle of the team, is to keep as many people alive as possible. Like, he's actually in a good position. You can see in the middle, he's got 4 people currently being healed by him. That's exactly what he wants. He wants to be cognizant of threats. He wants to be spamming at threats, keeping them occupied. But as Lucio, they basically, you know, Blizzard basically removed all of your damage. All of your damage. You know, you don't do damage anymore as Lucio. It's just kind of disappointing. It's part of the reason why he's no fun anymore, and why not many people kind of like playing him. I wish they find a way to make Lucio fun again. I really do, because he's very important. Otherwise, like, you're in a good position. The main thing I'd say is just try and keep an eye on, like, other threats around your team. There's a Sombra hacking you. That's honestly not a big deal. You're already in a good position still. just be aware that like there is support for you over this way, so you're retreating, and when you're retreating, you're running away from where the rest of your team is. You want to be running towards them, run towards, you know, your Reinhardt, your D.Va support. I always recommend, if you get the chance, if something is on you and chasing you, run to your Reinhardt, because he can either barrier you and protect you and keep you alive through that, or he can just kill whatever's chasing you and swing away while you keep him alive. Reinhardt's a great defensive tool. Anyway, we're running back. There we go. The soldier just runs to the Reinhardt anyway, because bronze. Yeah. And yeah, it's one of those things where, like, this guy's actually doing okay. I mean, his aim definitely could use improving, but as I've covered before and as I've covered in the past, just telling people to aim better doesn't really help much. Mercy should honestly be near her res at the moment. I would not do this. This movement, again, is just, you're running towards a threat where you got to consider with Roadhog's ultimate. Roadhog's ultimate is a big space clearer, but when you get up close to it, it deals a shitload of damage. So you got a barrier on you, in front of you at the moment. The moment you get clear of that, if he just focuses that on you, you will drop like 70 hit points like that in an instant, and you get blown away miles. Just turn around, go around the back, and then get to your team. Like, turn to speed, and then just go around the back like this way, and then drop back on the payload behind your tanks. There's a tire coming as well. This is honestly when I'd be very tempted to swap to speed and drop a sound barrier as well, just to confirm the point. It will stop the tire getting any kills. I'm trying to listen to where that tire is. Let's try and find out what happens to this tire, because it's a mystery. Okay, no, it's your tire. Sorry, I got confused then. Jesus. Next up, the D.Va. Nice. Of course that's that. Of course that's your tire. Jeez, who's the bronze player here? It's me, clearly. Not paying attention to team lineups. Honestly, this I like. This is just suppressing the Mercy, making sure Mercy can't get out and do anything meaningful. That said, I'd say like the moment you start seeing threats come along here, this position suddenly starts becoming too far forward. So once that Mercy drops back, once this appears, and the Zenyatta comes back, swap to speed, back up instantly. Because this guy can kill you, the Zenyatta can kill you. You want to stay alive, and if anything goes bad, you have this to keep your team alive. In this position, you are vulnerable to just being killed. So you want to just back up the moment threats start appearing that you can't realistically handle. Mercy's a threat you can handle. You can suppress her, you can do a little bit of poke damage on her, but these guys, they can easily burst you down, so you want to back off, get behind your tanks, and then just shell at them from safety. Instead of just running towards them, which is kind of what's happening at the moment. They've got a res, just back up. Good. Stay in cover. Good response. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. What I wanted to do was lower the volume. There we go. Sights goes off. Sound barrier goes off. Even though the point's still being contested, hey, we've got another one. Oh, Durilia. Welcome to the many. Like, the attack visor going off and using sound barrier, I'm fine with it, because the point was also still being contested. Like, at this point, there was a chance that they still got the contest. The contest is still very much a threat, so sound barrier just to clinch it, I'm fine with. Keeps everyone alive through a potentially dangerous ultimate that's up and above and behind you. Mercy, poor Mercy, she just needs to run away. And I have seen Metabrit mentioning in chat, by the way, yeah, he is sort of locked on 30 frames per second, which is a sign that, hey, might not be an avid PC gamer, might not be, you know, have a high-end PC either. I do definitely recommend trying to find a way to make the game run at 60. It just works a lot better. It's just way cleaner. Good kill on the massively out of position Zenyatta, but like, good punish on that. That's what you should be doing. And again, like, I'm fine with this positioning. I just say keep an eye on the threat behind you, because I think that's still not been dealt with. Like, Soldier's still up there. Like, that should be Junkrat's job. So I talk a lot about, in general, about general concepts, about mini objectives for your hero. And it's just like, what's whose job? And you'll see this a lot when like a good tracer pops up. A good tracer appears and starts dealing lots of damage, dealing tons of threat, and everyone starts going, deal with the tracer. And no one thinks like, whose job is it to deal with tracer? Like, I've had DPSs, I've had Soldier 76s saying, can someone please deal with the tracer? It's like, Soldier, who do you think is gonna be the guy to deal with the tracer? In this case, with the Soldier up here, it's honestly the Junkrat's job. So what I would do is heal boost here so that Junkrat can get full health. And then Junkrat will feel safe, just hopefully. Like, what should happen is he'll jump up and just basically hover over top this guy and drop a couple grenades on him, flush him out of there, and either kill him or force him down to the low ground where the rest of the team can just pick him up easily. Here again, though, just putting the rest of the team. There's still a fight going on, so again, I'd be keen on just making use of this, especially now that you've dropped into about half, but you're getting picked up anyway. Junkrat's still just sort of shelling away from the low ground on the Soldier behind you, I think. Soldier's still back there. D.Va's gonna go deal with it, okay. That's fine. You don't need everyone to go and deal with it. Like right now, poor Reinhardt's alone. You've also got something on the left side there that needs healing. I think that was the Hanzo that also needs picking up. So just be cognizant that you don't need to be the guy to go and deal with that. Mercy's already on it, so you can focus on the two on the front line and just keep this up and running. Like especially with a Reinhardt fighting a D.Va, he just needs that little bit of healing just to make sure that he's nice and comfy and stays alive that little bit longer. I mean, the Payload's making good progress at the moment. Payload is just trucking on through. They're not really stopping it. Shadow goes down. A little bit excessive, but it gets the D.Va anyway. Like, demeching D.Va is going to be important no matter what, especially if you are running Junkrat and Hanzo. It's going to open them up to do a lot of damage. Hey, Lucio goes down as well. Good job there. And, like, honestly, if you aren't experienced at FPS games, if you are thinking, I am new to the game, where can I have high effectiveness? Lucio is honestly a very good place to start because, like, let's talk about Lucio and skill gap. I'd say, like, the 0 percentile to the 90 percentile of skill between Lucios. It all comes down to just positioning, putting yourself in the right place, knowing where you need to be, that kind of thing. The top 10%, that's when you really need to understand when to speed boost, when to boop, landing your left clicks, providing that little bit of extra damage, using right clicks to finish stuff off. It all starts coming down more and more and more to that. So if you aren't experienced at FPS games, it's a very good place to start. It's a very good way to be effective to your team as well, because you'll notice that lower ranked players especially will have a hard time landing lethal damage past a Lucio. Like when I was new to Tracer, let's just get a better screen freeze here. Still a bit blurry, but it'll do. When I was new to Tracer, for example, I used to have a really, really hard time fighting teams that had a Lucio because I wasn't good enough with my tracking with Tracer to outdamage the Lucio's healing. As I got better and better and better, I found ways to sort of get past it. I found ways of, you know, I can more reliably land headshots, I can track better, I can do more damage. But for these lower level players, it's honestly going to be hard to just get through it. So lining Lucio definitely is actually a very good idea. We still have a Soldier 76 behind us. How? How has this man survived? Where have you been, Soldier? This Soldier 76 is magical. He goes on adventures. He's sightseeing around the map. Because he started the game and he came from, like, your spawn. Then he went to the diner and just stayed on top of Big R's for a while. And then he's clearly survived that ordeal somehow. Anyway, you've been hacked. Again, don't panic. Just try and get behind your tanks like the Roadhog missed the hook. When I get hacked, the first thing I'm looking to do is move more into cover. So I'd have probably tried to move back here just to stay alive a little bit. Old soldiers never die from the chat. Good. I like it. Anyway, let's talk about being hacked as Lucio. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but you can't swap to speed. It's honestly a more annoying thing if you are stuck on speed and you get hacked because you want to be on healing, but first thing I'd be doing is honestly moving to somewhere in cover. Like, we know that the fight's happening around this area, so I'd be moving more this way. And then looking for threats and trying to keep an eye on, okay, where's my team? Where can I effectively put myself to put this sound barrier down if we need it when the hack runs out 4 seconds later? Like, that would be my thought. Like, what do we do after the EMP? Because with an effective EMP, you're expecting like a rush in and then kills to start happening and then damage to occur. That isn't happening because 600 SR. It's okay. But it's what you would expect if as you start to climb, as you start to get better. So it's important to understand this concept now. Where first thing you do, dodge your initial burst. Like step 1. Can I survive? I want to survive, I want to survive, I want to survive. Step 2, okay, I'm alive. Where can I put myself to have the most impact after the EMP is done and I can use this ability? That said, they don't have the follow-up damage. They're struggling to deal any real DPS. Your Hanzo, the Manbo, Samurai Commando is doing a good job. Sights is fired. Good response. You don't have any other defensive ults, so yeah, use it, as far as I'm aware. There's no other defensive ult floating around. I think you might... Are you solo healing at the moment? No, you got a Mercy. But honestly, I'd rather have the proactive, let's break it down in response to that Soldier ult. That's perfectly fine. And then if people do go down, Mercy can pick them up. Speed boost on nerf this, good. Good response. If you hear nerf this, as Lucio just swapped to speed, gets everyone out of line of sight that bit quicker. Yeah, it's nice. Then this Mercy should be dead. There she goes, good, good, good. Otherwise, just keep an eye on this Farah. This is where the threats are. So again, as support, keep tab of the threats. You got a Farah above you, you got a Reaper here. The D.Va honestly isn't that big of a threat because you can just speed and run away. Keep this Reinhardt in line of sight as much as possible. Reinhardt's going in here. That's a bad decision from Reinhardt because he's broken line of sight with his support, so he'll go down and die. Don't break line of sight with your supports, ladies and gentlemen, unless you are very, very secure in what you're doing. And yeah, you went to go and save him, you paid the price for it. But hey, Mercy Res picks everyone back up. So in this instance, like getting picked up in a location like this, like you're surrounded by enemies. It's gonna be a bad situation no matter what. First thing I'd be doing, press shift, swap to speed, try and get my ass out of there as fast as possible. Like you want to make distance, especially with the Reaper, who's sort of very close into you, and then make distance with the D.Va as well. You don't want to be up close and personal with D.Va. That's it. Mercy does a good job keeping you and D.Va alive, so good job by Mercy. And again, just be wary of walking into cubby holes. Good right click to finish. Nice. And again, just try and keep distance from D.Va. D.Va will actually struggle to out-DPS you. Like, don't do this. Don't run out of D.Va, because D.Va does more and more and more damage, like, exponentially, very quickly, the closer you get to her. So just keep distance. Use speed if she tries to close in on you. And just keep a little bit of distance. Duck into cover here, because Soldier's a big threat. And yeah, what you're doing now is you're trying to solo a D.Va with a Mercy support, and it's kind of working, which is kind of interesting. You're still contesting it, but hey, this is fascinating to me, because, wow. Okay, they've just res, but I don't think... They got everyone... Oh my god, Hanzo with the fucking money ult in the back. Now I'm just casting. Let's watch the end of this team fight, and then let's go over it piece by piece, because I want to kind of digest this first. Okay, the soldier ult does work there. The ones go down. Everyone's going down. Mercy's panicking. Mercy's screaming for everyone to hold it. Watching the kill cam. Can we get there, actually? Speed, 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 speed. Good, good, good. Focus on getting there fast. I think it's D.Va stalling on the point. That's good, that's good. D.Va's still stalling. Don't get distracted by the Sombra. She's not important at the moment. D.Va's still there. You're getting there. Stay on speed, stay on speed. Spot to healing. Good. Good, 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 good. Heal boost is ready. You should be using heal boost at the moment. There we go. D.Va's still alive. Hanzo's dipped out of line of sight. Again, you're trying to solo the D.Va a bit. Try and juke around the payload a little bit more is my advice. So don't run at him! Is he scary? He's very scary. Reaper's actually a scary, scary person. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Now we've watched that. They've made it all the way to the end. Now let's try and digest that. I'm not even going to just try and back skip my way through that. Okay. Okay. So, first things first, your objective here is to survive. Like, survival is what matters. All that would be going through my mind at the moment is, can I survive and can I get Mercy somewhere safe? Even though there's 30 seconds, like, dying at 26 seconds is one of the worst things you can do. Absolutely one of the worst things you can do. So let's talk about that just while we're ticking into overtime. You can generally, as a rule of thumb, so let's get a thumbs. Actually, I'm going to bring back an old friend. Like, let's bring back this chap as well. He's going to start featuring very soon. But rule of thumb. It takes about 30 seconds to get a rushed push out, like a very quick blitzed in push. It's not going to be very organized, you're not going to be set up or anything, but you can generally get a push out in about 30 seconds. You generally need 1 minute for a coordinated push, but 30 seconds is actually enough time, especially if you're relatively nearby, especially if you've got a Lucio speed boosting you around. So what this guy's calling is actually a little bit of a mistake, because what could be happening here, and what does happen to you here, is that you're rushing to push onto the point, but it's like 3v2. It's 2 supports against 3 DPS. When people get better and people get better and better and better, what you'll find is that people will kill you much, much faster. Like the Lucio and Mercy can survive for a long time, but they will just get better and better and better at killing you. They do use a soldier ult to do it, and you do manage to stall with the sound barrier, but you're in a position where you're fighting with a sound barrier for very little at the moment. That said, Hanzo gets a clutch ultimate, which honestly saves a lot, but I think like if you're just a little bit further back, you probably still would have got that clutch ultimate position. You probably still have had Reinhardt in perhaps a better position as well. Reinhardt gets picked off there by the Pharah ult behind, then everyone starts going down at this stage. Luckily, D.Va comes in and saves the day as 5 seconds starts to tick down, and the enemy team can't kill D.Va for reasons. So, I mean, D.Va's on it. D.Va's on the ball. She gets demeched. If they have a Reinhardt, they just kill him. They just kill him. Like, their Sombra fucks up there. Let's talk about this Sombra fucking up, because that's something that's very definite and concrete in this insane world of Bronze Overwatch. It's in overtime at the moment. I love fucking Ganymede. Ganymede is beautiful. So cool, isn't he? So, yeah, like, Ganymede, tell everyone what Sombra's doing well. Well, no, let's not do that. Well, it's in overtime at the moment. Who's going to use this health pack? Who's going to use this health pack? No one's going to use this health pack. This health pack is useless. Like, everyone running in from here is going to be on full health because they're coming from spawn. The fight's over here. No one's running all the way back from the point on overtime to pick this up. Sombra should be over here helping kill this diva. That's what Sombra should be doing. Shivering with rage, Ganymede. Ganymede is quaking with anger at Sombra.
There you go, diva, there you go.
And she's going to be like a minor annoyance back here, but Sombra on her own really will struggle to DPS past the Lucio. Get to the point, and again, your job here is to keep people alive as long as possible. Try and make sure that they are surviving, and then try and knock away any threats that occur. Try and get any quick picks. Do not overextend as the Lucio, and if people do start going down, that's when you start doing what we call payload dancing, where you jump on the payload and you just sort of try and dance around it as much as possible. Go on to speed until you start dropping low on hit points, then sort to healing, try and heal boost yourself, but mostly just try and juke on the payload. Like, these are the priorities that you should be having at this point. Now, what happens is the Reinhardt, I don't think this Reinhardt knows an important thing. This is one thing that I taught Ryan that became so useful for him, and it's one of the most important things to understand as Reinhardt, is that the payload does not block Earthshatter. And you could just, like, if Reinhardt stands here and Earthshatter's this way, he catches the entire enemy team. Which is really goddamn nice. And it sets up some easy finishes. D.Va does a good job knocking him away. That's actually a good boop, but the mistake here is trying to run around. You just want to stay out of line of sight. Like, running at that is just a big no. And again, just try and keep distance from Reaper, because if anything's going to kill you at this point, it's going to be Reaper or Pharah. So just juke away from Reaper as much as possible, because he's going to be chasing you. Jump around on the payload, and Pharah should struggle to kill through your healing, plus Mercy's healing, plus the payload's healing. And by then, D.Va should start cleaning up. Junkrat's come in. He's starting to do a ton of splash damage as well. Good job. Okay, we've made it. We've somehow clawed our way through this. Like, people not being able to finish off a D.Va meant that, hey, you survived. You made it to the next checkpoint. Let's go.